Good afternoon, everyone. I am Chaitra Vedullapalli. I'm the CMO at Meylah, so I want to welcome all of you for the Cloud Ready session. So did you guys have a good lunch? Yeah. Okay, you're all here, so you probably have lots of questions. So I did go around going around the aisles to find out what you have in mind. So what I'm going to talk about is today about our journey as what a cloud-ready company would look like and what are the struggles we went through. And the focus today I'm going to do is really on assessing your business. Is your business truly a cloud-ready business? So our company has been in industry for the last 6.5 years, and we started as a cloud company. That means is we built technology on the cloud platform. And so what we have is a marketplace as a solution. So what we did was we go to an enterprise company and we say you have this whole ecosystem of companies and let's them bring them on into a marketplace and then have them to generate leads and sales. As part of doing that, what we recognized was it was not growing at the speed that we wanted to grow, because everybody thought is having a subscription-based business is the golden ticket in cloud. We struggled. We couldn't really figure out, so we did a lot of pivots, and that's what they call it in startup world, is how do you go about this business model, that business model. So we really met with lots and lots of experts in the industry to understand what does it take to truly become a cloud company. In my past, I have worked with Oracle as well as Microsoft, so I have a lot of the enterprise background, and we could see the big shift that was happening in the cloud. So as we went through the entire journey, talking to a lot of the industry experts, what we found that cloud readiness consists of few things. There was a very clear definition is your ability to create new customers easily. Second is creating the recurring revenue, which is a monthly recurring revenue, and the second one was the annual recurring revenue. And that is a unique skill that you have to acquire, and it's really based on the licensing component of how you price your product, how you service your product, and how you develop with the customer to create that recurring revenue. Second is in a cloud-ready world, what you are really trying to do is staying ahead of the curve and offering solutions to your customer that meets their needs. So you're going mostly going from on-prem to cloud, or you're going from on-prem to hybrid. In that environment, the technology change that you have to do has to be very fast and quick. And third is, you have to identify those areas that you really need to understand where you need to invest. A lot of the transformation in cloud really happens around people and technology. If you can go ahead and learn about everything about tech, but you don't know how the people are going to use it, it will be impossible to really decide how the cloud technology will be used. So when we go in front of the customers, we really don't talk about the technology story. We talk about what is the experience you want to have, and how do you want your people to access information anywhere, any place, anytime, and also keep it effective, like cost effective, and also manage it more effectively. At that time, the answers would be, we want this kind of experiences with our employees, with our customers, with our suppliers, and how can we optimize the price around it. And the last one is, how do you stay strategically ahead of the curve? Since you are all here, if you see today, the message was, everything is shifting to cloud. So as a company, you have to really think about your business model. And in the last 1 year, to give you the history, the Cloud Ready program was a pilot program. And in the state of Washington, I do initiative called as Ignite Washington. And it is really enabling a digital equity initiative and readiness for businesses in the state of Washington. As part of doing that, what we found was most of the Washington customers were not moving to adopting the newer technology, was because the IT providers were having difficulty adopting the cloud tech. So we went back to Microsoft and say, can we do is a cloud-ready program and help all our 10,000 IT providers to be really successful? If they are ready, they will take all their customers to the newer technology. So they can move away from XP, they can move away from Windows 7, they can move away from MS-DOS. Those were kind of the scenarios. And really, the IT providers were the trusted advisors for most of the customer. So as part of doing that, we really went through 1,000+ companies. We met and we spoke and we talked about it. 700 companies took the assessment. So now we have a little bit more optics to really help understand what kind of resources and tools we have to provide. And I want to give a loud shout out to Sharon Lee. She's from US sub. And Karen Fazio from the Worldwide Partner team. They really partnered together to say is we have to create a program that is led by partners for partners and making sure the partners are very successful. In the room, I have Dan Gordon, who has gone through the program. And it was a 100-day action plan. He had to go through an assessment. He had to go win the customer. He had to build the ISV solution, and then really become ready with Azure. So it was a very immersive, fast program that was helpful. By doing that, what we found was we were able to unlock over $100 million of opportunity for Microsoft partners. So it was that simple. It's just that there is work. It's very simple to go there. So as part of the whole work we did, there was a cloud transformation journey that came in, and we used as the 7 habits of highly successful leaders, which is the Franklin Covey's model. So we took that model and say, okay, let's map it and see how does that whole journey would look like. The first journey starts with, I want to be a cloud-ready company. It's an intent you have to set for your company. And once you set the intent, you start with taking the right action. So if you go onto the Microsoft Partner Network, the main portal, there's a whole profitability content that is available. So you can do a lot of the profitability planning. Once you know that, yes, I'm going to be profitable, and this is where I want to invest my company's resources and direction, you go and take your business ready assessment. So the business readiness really focuses on your business model, your customers, your technology, your customer support team, and your marketing. Because this is the first shift that is happening where a partner really needs to change his entire business. It's not that easy, and it takes time. So what it does is it comes up with a 100-day action plan that allows you to go win 5 customers in 100 days. If you go win your 5 customers, you know exactly what are the machines you have to put in. And in that 100-day business plan, action plan, what you're looking at is the type of customers you have or the type of customers you want to go and how you put in your recurring revenue model and you test out that model. Then once you have that, you really build is your business strategies of how you're going to go win that market, what kind of solutions you need to go. If you heard today in the first day at the Vision keynote, the more you're focused in your industries, the more you're focused in which solutions you're going to go after, what will happen is you'll actually go win big. As a company, we invested a lot in Azure, and then we invested a lot in Power BI. So we are like kind of putting that together. And now what we are looking at is integrating that one with AI technology. So any app that we build, we want to have is an AI integration to it. And then connect to IoT or connect that. But Azure was our first bet that we wanted to really get our entire team on the same page. Once you have that is the number 4. This is the place where most of the partners struggle, is identifying the solution and making sure what solution I'm going after. Technology products, which is like Azure, Power BI, these are all the bits that you need to create the entire experience. What you really need is also ISV solution. For example, if you're working in a hybrid environment, I have Dan Gordon. He has built in a very interesting solution that allows you to pull all the data, all the files that you can access on your on-prem server. And he couldn't do it like 6 months ago. Now that solution is baked, it drives consumption of Azure, it drives consumption of Office. I also had met Andrew, and he just showed me is the kind of technology that drives a pricing optimization for Azure. So looking at is a combination of looking at Microsoft core products and stitching that with ISV that completes entire solution mapping. Then also you have to look at is which partners or which go-to-market partners you need to work with. You cannot do everything on your own, especially if you're in the range which is 500 employees or less. You have to be really niche and very good at what you do. But once you are 500 employees involved, you can actually create a very big practice. You can have generalists as well as specialists together. But if you are below that, it really is important for you to make sure you have the right partnerships in place. So we as a company, we have really a lot of partners across the United States, and we really want to work with them and really help them be the experts with the customer, and we becomes the builder for them. So as a company, we do advising, helping with the migration, and also do the development. So we are specialized in the DevOps for Azure. Going to the go-to-market, this is a place where most of the partners stumble because you have to really use digital marketing. And as a partners, how many of you feel comfortable with digital marketing? Okay, so one of the skill, if you get an opportunity in this 3 days, is go and take any digital marketing sessions in here. Azure, Power BI, all is great, but if you don't know how to really market that with the customers, you will not be able to get the leads that you're looking for. Microsoft will give you the leads if you are at certain threshold, and they will work with you, they'll build with you, they'll market with you. But when you're trying to grow your practice, you really have to learn is how to acquire the customers. And then once you have it is the customer support. This is where most of the partners get tripped, is you really need to provide 24/7 customer support. As soon as you go into cloud, you need that discipline. Some of you will say, is it possible? Is it required? Well, I would say you should aim to have is a 24/7 customer support because you're providing that end-to-end experience. If you don't have is a 24/7 customer support, at least have a mechanism that allows that kind of interaction, which is a one-day SLA for your customer. Does that make sense? Okay. So when you're thinking about cloud transformation journey, there are two types of revenue streams. One is IP-based revenue stream. That is, you're creating a product. It's a subscription-based. And second is your MSP, which is your managed services. This is people who are deployed to serve for the customer. So customer is basically purchasing is a service from you, and the people are attached to run those business processes. So why do you need to take action now? There are 4 reasons. One is more and more companies are going after, or more and more companies want solution providers who can provide the cloud solution. If you go to any company, they don't know the skills. They don't have the talent to really make it happen. So they really don't have the talent in place to really drive the cloud transformation. Each and every one of us here, all the 17,000 partners who are here, we are the trusted advisors. So in the new world, in the cloud world, you will become the cloud solution provider or a digital partner of record, and you become that trusted source for your customer because everything has to happen online. The second one is one source for services. If you look at it, as 56% prefer that they go to one single IT company to provide all the resources. So when you are going out today, work with other partners, partner with them, because when a customer comes to you, you become that general contractor role, and they will come to you, they'll talk to you, you will deploy whichever partner you would need. In our ecosystem, we have like 10 partners at any given time. Depending upon what we are trying to accomplish, we'll bring in the right partner to really attach it to that solution, because we cannot do everything on our own. The number three is get comfortable with the cloud. More and more companies need to feel they are getting comfortable, they are ready, they're asking more, they want to understand. So start leading with educating them. So one of the skill or resource you can take away today from this Inspire event is come up with a simple presentation deck that you can do is educate customers on what does cloud means for them and why they should be shifting to cloud. And having that presentation deck will really help you to educate the customer. And they will come back and say, hey, do you have a POC that you can do with us? And if yes, you have a mechanism to go in. And the last one is there's a huge adoption of cloud technologies right now in the industry, especially in the small and medium size area. There's a huge adoption. They want all these cloud services to be implemented. But as soon as you go into the little higher end of the mid-market and enterprise, the curve is there, but the process of deployment of cloud is little slower. It's not as fast. But if you want to create the recurring revenue, start with like a company size anywhere from 6 employees to 50 employees, fastest growth. It's easy to make decisions with them. They're ready to do a POC, and they're ready to jump on board. And that is what you can actually do. So one of the things what we did was we actually created a spreadsheet, and we started to track how ready we are as a company. And there were so many different areas as a company we had to do. We had to think about a business model. We had to think about talent acquisition or talent readiness. We had to think about product management and delivery. And customer support, and sales and marketing. So there were all these different levers that we had to put, and we had this Excel spreadsheet to do it. And as we were working for the state of Washington, we said, how can we automate? So we took Azure solution, put an application, we put a whole assessment together, and that was the assessment that came out. So as a company, now you can actually do the same assessment, 15 minutes, and it'll tell you how ready you are for cloud. Based on that, you can really decide which is the first area that you need to go about changing. You don't have to change everything. You don't have to make you don't have to make all the changes that you would need for your company, and you don't have to invest thousands of dollars to make it happen. The first thing is getting your business model right. Second, your talent right. Third is how the go-to-market would look like, and then is your customer support. If you get few components, you are in a pretty good shape. So this is our journey. So when we started, we were all yellows and some reds that we were there. But in the last 2 years, we have really spent a lot of time putting that together. The first one is we really adopted and embraced the cloud solution provider program. That's the pay-as-you-go licensing model. We believe that is one of the best licensing model. We used open. It was so hard because anytime the subscriptions expire, there's no notification a partner gets, neither the customer. The whole service goes down, and the customer used to remind us saying, hey, our site is down, can you come and help us out? So now we don't have to go through that pain. So going through a CSP motion was very helpful. The second thing we also did was really focused on the right customer segment as well as acquisition. We did not go randomly around every customer that we wanted to do. We said this is the customer segment, and we really focused on employee size, because that helped us which industry we want to go and which is the customer size we want to go. Because anytime you're going below 6 employees or less, the subscription revenue, you won't be even able to get like a $500 a month. It's hard. So I don't know why it's going. Hopefully I can. Is it okay? I'll just keep going back. And the third one is we also focused on the education framework, but really focused on the cloud ideation. It was a lot of ideating with the customer. We wanted them to dream big. We wanted them to dream what's possible with technology. And then we started working on the POC. What's the smallest POC, low risk? They will not lose their job. They will be very excited to talk about it. So we kind of really focused on that POC model. And And then also the adoption toolkit. So adoption toolkit was really helping their customer move to cloud. How does that mean when you deploy a cloud solution? How will that change the customer to go to, the customer to experience cloud? And the fourth one we did was established a deep partnership with a cloud distributor for reselling Azure. If you look at it, I have gone through every distributor out here and every hoster because I wanted to experiment. And Sharon and Karen, they kept saying, tell me what's the difference between this distributor versus that. Now I have a spreadsheet, I can tell you. I've signed 80 plus agreements on that, and I know exactly what are the nuances, what are the margins you get, and then we were able to really do a very good due diligence. So now when a customer comes, within 2 days, I can do a CSP subscription without customers saying, okay, where is my application? So we were able to turnkey that one very fast. The second one, and the last one we did was implemented our digital marketing solution using our own platform. So we implemented a cloud incentive marketplace, so all the partners who are working with us, we actually have all their partner offers in place. So we promote it together, we share with each other, and what it did was it's generating leads. So as the leads come in, we send it to them, they work on calling the customer, they start the conversation. And the last one is we are still working with all these changes that has happened with US, I would say Microsoft. We are trying to figure out what does that build with, sell with, and go to market looks like. And that is still TBD. But what we know is if we focus on our customers, I think we'll all will be fine. The products are here, it works. I don't think we have to have a problem. But what we are trying to figure out is how does the POC engagement looks like with our customer? Because when I go to our customer, I would say, Microsoft is interested to do the POC with you. Would you be interested? They would say, yes, we like that, right? Because there's low risk, there's no budget, high budget request. So any customer below $25,000 becomes very easy to do a POC. If it's between 6 and 50 employees, $10,000 POC is very, very easy. So knowing what the POC dollars and going with Microsoft and saying, how can we find those POC dollars to do some innovations with Microsoft and really drive the customer to onboard to the cloud technology. So that one was something that we learned. At the end of the day, when you do it, I would say, take your assessment, it's 15 minutes, really helps you kind of know where your company is. Second is partner with other partners in the ecosystem. Even if they say they are Azure partners, don't be afraid because you don't know. Somebody would be good at backup and recovery, some may be very good at, an ISV app. So figure out, learn a lot, and create a toolbox of products and services that you would need to really deploy a cloud solution. And third is Microsoft is here, and you should talk to everyone here and learn as much as you can. With that, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, I'm open for taking it today. Thank you.